His name is Adrian Esposito, and he just recently made a very beautiful film about people with Down syndrome and the Seneca Nation and how the Senecas viewed people with disabilities back in the mid-1860s. And I would like to introduce to you guys Mr. Adrian Esposito.
Okay, thank you everyone. I just wanted to thank you for inviting me and to talk to you and to inviting me and talk to you and for showing our film, Bury My Heart With Tonawanda. This is a film that I wrote, produced, edited, and even starred in a cameo role. Bury My Heart With Tonawanda is an historical film about the Seneca culture featuring the Tonawanda Indian Reservation. It tells the story of a developmentally disabled boy with Down syndrome who was rejected by his own family, but accepted and nurtured by the Tonawanda Seneca Nation. I have been involved with Self Advocacy for now about 9 years now. Actually, one of the first events I came to was here at the Self Advocacy Conference in Batavia in 2005. I love watching films, and I watch them a lot. I have noticed that there are few Hollywood films about people with developmental disabilities. And when there are films that portray people with disabilities, most often the part is played by an actor acting as someone with a disability. That has bothered me for a long time. In writing the script for Bury My Heart With Tonawanda, I combined the two areas of great interest to me: Native American culture and advocacy for people with developmental disabilities. For the film, all right, let's just see a clip for the film, if we can. That wasn't from the film, but it was for a promotional trailer we did to raise money for the movie, Bury My Heart With Tonawanda. For the film, I wrote a series of dramatic parts for people with developmental disabilities, and had the main actor in the film, John Harrison, have Down syndrome. The film is about a young man born with Down syndrome in the late 1800s. He is rejected by his father and is eventually sent to an institution. The institution is called, unfortunately, the Asylum for Idiots in Syracuse, New York. And let's see a clip of that. This was a real place, and the Asylum for Idiots was its real name way back in the 1800s. I learned this while making another film called We Can Shine From Institutions to Independence. And I just wanted to say right now that two of our actors from both We Can Shine From Institutions to Independence and also Bury My Heart With Tonawanda are right here. Eric, Race, could you please stand up? I went to Syracuse and interviewed Joyce Becker, a social worker and historian who worked at the Syracuse Developmental Center, which used to be called the Asylum for Idiots. She told me about the conditions there from the beginning to the 1970s. For the film, she told me about the activities for the residents at the center. She told me that most of the residents did activities such as sewing, but when they ran out of sewing, they would walk around in circles inside the building as Chris Devlin said in the clip you saw. The older, more capable residents would watch over the other ones. Sometimes in nicer weather, they would walk outside and move rocks back and forth for hours. We all know that at that time, as time went on, these places got overcrowded and the conditions got worse. In the film, I emphasized the fact that the Senecas believed that people with disabilities were special, sent here by God to help us and teach us. Michael Bastine, a Native American teacher and author present, present this concept in the film. Can we see the clip, please? In real life, Michael Bastine is an Algonquin medicine man, teacher, and father of Bailey, an individual with Down syndrome. She is also in the film in that scene that you just saw. And if you could, Michael, could you stand up? Steve Blum also makes his dramatic acting debut in the film as well. Can we see some clips? They worked hard and never complained. The film will be shown in its entirety after dinner in the Sapphire Room.
Our next award is another Self Advocate of the Year award, and this one is in memory of Julie Rosenberg. And this person, this award person, he's also a very well-known advocate in the Rochester area, and he's also a filmmaker too. And he was our keynote speaker last night, so this year's award person is Adrian Esposito.
Yes, I just wanted to thank the Self Advocacy Conference here in Batavia for giving me this award. And I'm going to continue fighting for the rights and human rights and self-advocacy for people with disabilities or developmental disabilities. And I'm going to keep continuing making films involving more people with disabilities. And also making films that are meaningful and have dignity and aren't trashy like you see every day in the film industry, in the movie theaters, like silly, dumb, horror side comedy movies that a lot of people may find offensive and gross. They use the R. So I'm going to continue fighting for the rights, like I said before, and keep making movies that have dignity and respect towards people with disabilities and so forth. Thank you.